Hi everyone, since a lot of you were asking me in order to create a detailed video on whether you should do an MBA or not, post your CA or let's say post any other course, here I am preparing a detailed video on the same. Firstly, let me tell you that I am not an expert in terms of advising you whether you should do an MBA or not, and I have not even done my MBA. The only facts and opinions which I am going to share in this video are of my friends who have done their MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, or someone from Harvard, Wharton, London Business School, etc. So let's understand some of the factors to be considered before applying for an MBA. So first of all, the major advantage of doing an MBA from let's say any university is that you get to have that entrepreneurial mindset at a very early age. If you're doing an MBA, you get to meet a lot of people and it'll expand your horizon in terms of you'll interact with a lot of smart people, solve a lot of business case studies, which is not the case in our CA curriculum or in any other curriculum. So this is the only curriculum where for the entire 1 year or 2 years of MBA, you are given case studies of real life business examples and you have to solve them and present them in front of let's say 150 to 200 people depending upon how big is the batch size. So you have to analyze any problem from let's say tech point of view, marketing point of view, finance, revenue, cost, etc. And this is going to definitely broaden your horizon and expand your mindset. The second benefit is of networking. So let me tell you, this is going to be one of the major benefits of doing an MBA because you're going to meet so many smarter people in your batch and that is going to add value in your network. Let's say if you want to start up something of your own in the future and if you want to raise funding, it'll be very easy for you to fetch international investors if you're doing an MBA from Ivy League, if you're doing an MBA from outside India, because you'll already have these kind of connects. You can anytime discuss these set of ideas with other people as well and they'll also have the same set of ideas because they have been through the same situation, so it'll be easier for you to connect with them. So networking is going to be one of the biggest advantages, and if you get into one of the top tier 1 colleges, then I think this is going to play out really well for you. Just to give you a few examples of famous personalities who've done their MBA, you take any name, be it Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla, chairman of Aditya Birla Group, he has done his MBA from London Business School. Sundar Pichai, who is a Wharton alumni. Satya Nadella, who is an alumni of Chicago Booth. Let's take an example of Rahul Bajaj, who is a Harvard alumni, and Anand Mahindra, who is again a Harvard alumni. So all of these famous personalities have done their MBA from one of the Ivy Leagues and they have learned a lot of lessons from the colleges and therefore they are able to apply in their day-to-day life. So networking is going to be one of the biggest advantages if you get into an MBA. Other advantage of doing an MBA is that there is a huge increment in your salary if you're doing an MBA from a top-notch college. Let me give you real life examples again. So a person who's doing an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad or Bangalore can anywhere earn between let's say 20-25 lakhs on a lower end up to 45-50 lakhs if he's getting into let's say one of the best investment banks as well. So one of my friends, he got into Morgan Stanley after clearing from IIM Ahmedabad and he's also earning very good amount in terms of getting a good package at a very young age. So companies like Aditya Birla Group, ITC, Marico, HUL or all these FMCG or industry companies, they again pay somewhere from 25 to 30 to 35 lakhs. And top investment banks like Bank of America, Citibank or any other foreign investment bank, they can pay up to 40 to 50 lakhs as well per annum. And this is a good salary when it comes to your start of the career itself. So that is a good number and that is one of the other advantages. Talking about the expected salaries of MBA from top-notch schools like Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, etc. So there the salary estimate can be anywhere between $100,000 to $150,000. So $100,000 is nothing but 75 lakh rupees per annum and you can anywhere earn between let's say 75 lakhs to 1.5 crores, 2 crores per annum as well depending upon where do you get the placement. Companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, they can pay up to 1.5 crores per annum as well if you are going into that particular department. So the salary range in that is very high and the return on investment is a thing which you need to calculate. So return on investment is the expected salary range divided by the investment, that is the MBA fees which you are paying. So let me also talk about the MBA fee structure towards the later part of the video. But the point here is that you need to calculate the return on investment and if your ROI is very high, then you should definitely go for it given the fact that you're going to earn huge amount of money after graduating from that MBA college. Another question which a lot of students ask me is that whether you should do an MBA from India or outside India. I personally feel that MBA outside India makes a lot of sense because you will have an international exposure. And if you remember the podcast with Mr. Shailesh Haribhakti, he had also stated in one of his answers that you should definitely have an international exposure at least once in your life so that you get to know that how the entire world works and you are not restricted only to the Indian economy. And this is where Leverage EDU comes into picture. You can fast track your admits in leading UK universities for the September 2022 intake, and the major advantages of Leverage EDU are that you can get one-on-one assistance with the mentor. Not only that, you can get admits on the spot and you can talk to the university representatives and ask them about the details of scholarship and how to apply. All your queries would be resolved. And Leverage EDU is organizing a virtual fair called as UniConnect tomorrow, that is 19th of February from 3 to 6 p.m. where you can get on the spot admits from the global leading UK universities as well. And not not only MBA, this event is open for everyone who wants to, let's say, get into fashion, graphic designing, filmmaking, photography, or any other media industry as well. If you're a person who wants to get into the media industry, the lucrative one, then this event is for you. In fact, faculty members from all those universities will be attending this event, and it's a golden chance for you to solve all your doubts directly with the faculty members one-on-one, so that you are not confused at the end of the day. So click on the link given in the description box to register for this amazing event tomorrow and make your seats reserved in the leading UK universities. Talking about the work experience, now a lot of students also ask that whether work experience of articleship is counted or not in an MBA, and whether work experience after your qualification, how much of it gets counted. So again, let me tell you, if you want to get into an MBA in IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, then work experience of, let's say, 1 year or 2 years is not going to matter, because even if you qualify your CA, even if you qualify any other examination, you'll be able to get into these colleges because of the fact that they don't require a work ex of, let's say, 3 to 4 years. On the other hand, if you want to get into business school outside India, let's say into an Ivy League like Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, etc., then you need a work experience of 3 to 4 years on an average. Now again, let me clarify this. The minimum work experience is 2 years to 12 years in case of Harvard School. So if you want to get with a work experience of 2 years as well, you need to have a very stellar profile. For example, you should have something in, let's say, the national or international level, or you should have a very strong profile which will help you to get the admit on a faster scale. But on an average, I've seen that the average work ex is 3 to 4 years. One of my friends was working in Blackstone. He worked in Blackstone for 4 years and then got into Harvard Business School, and he told me that the average work ex of everyone in his batch was 3.5 to 4.5 years. There are people coming from 10 years of work ex as well. And the reason he told me that you should have a work ex of, let's say, 3 to 4 years and then go for an MBA is because a lot of people have worked in some or the other industry, and it will be easier for you to communicate with them if you also have the relevant work experience. If you go as a fresher without any work ex, it will be very difficult for you to communicate and match thoughts with them. So that is one of the important things to be kept in mind. And in fact, I was talking to two of my CA friends, one of which who got into Harvard and the other one who got into Wharton. Both of them were telling that the articleship work experience can be counted if you've done it from Big Four and if you can put the story. So it's like if you've done your articleship from KPMG, EY, Deloitte or PwC, and if you can build a good story in your statement of purpose while writing the SOP and essay, then it'll be very easier for you to tell them that you have worked in a Big Four. And since Big Four is globally recognized, even in the US, they'll come to know that, okay, you've worked in KPMG or Deloitte, because these companies are there in US as well. If you've worked in a mid-sized firm, that might get counted, but the risk here is that the university representatives wouldn't know that this firm exists and what is the scale of that firm. So you'll have to build your story in such a way that you ensure that the articleship work experience is also counted. So there's a bonus point if you've done your articleship from Big Four. If you've done your industrial training, then definitely that work ex is going to get counted because of the fact that you have worked in an industry for full time. So I think articleship work ex might get counted because again, it's very subjective from university to university. But if you have a very good GMAT score, if you have a very good extra currics, then your articleship work ex, if you add that in your resume, then I think it shouldn't be difficult for you to get into one of the top universities as well. Other advantage of doing an MBA is the diversity which you're going to experience. Now again, talking about IIM Ahmedabad. If you are a person who wants to get into IIM Ahmedabad, let me tell you a very cool fact for you. So IIM Ahmedabad has a special reserved quota for students who are CA rankers, and if they want to get into IIM Ahmedabad, they have some special seats for CA students. So why this is done? This is done in order to ensure diversity. So people from, let's say, CA background, engineering background, architecture, designing background, all the other backgrounds are there, and people can meet a lot of other people and network with some diverse profiles. So that is an added advantage if you have a rank in your CA finals, and even if you don't have a top-notch CAT score like 99.97 percentile, etc., you can get into IIM Ahmedabad, because my friend, he had 97 percentile in his CAT, but still he got into IIM Ahmedabad because he had ranks in his IPCC and CA final. So that's about the diversity. And even if you go into colleges outside India, if you have a good GMAT score, an ideal GMAT score for getting into Harvard or Stanford or Wharton would be more than 720, 730 out of 800. And if you have a good GMAT score, again, a lot of people there are going to come from a lot of other countries pursuing various other courses as well. So you're going to meet n number of different people having diverse profiles, diverse attitudes and diverse backgrounds, so that even you can understand how this entire world works. And once you come back to India, or even if you want to settle there, you'll be able to fetch investors, or you'll be able to meet new people very easily because of the connects which you already had. So that is one biggest advantage. And as I promised about the fee structure as well, the fee structure of, let's say, top-notch colleges in India like IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, the fees range for 2 years program is somewhere around 24 to 25 lakhs, and this can be again compensated by the return which you're going to earn of, let's say, 30 to 35 to 40 lakhs per annum of salary. So the payback period usually should be 1 year or 1.5 years, not more than that. And in the next 1.5 years, you should be able to recover the entire cost of MBA fees. On the other hand, fees in let's say Harvard, Stanford or Wharton, these top-notch colleges outside India, the fees there ranges from $100,000 to $125,000 as well. And of course, you can visit their websites as well to understand more about the fee structure, but on an average, you're going to spend somewhere around 1 to 1.5 crores or maybe 2 crores if you're going to go outside India for studying for your MBA. If you're going to target the top-notch colleges in the US, then 1.5 crores is an ideal amount where you're going to spend that amount and you're going to earn that amount in the next 1.5 years if you land up in a very good profile. So this is about the fee structure of MBA colleges. So the only thing which I dislike, or maybe which you should consider before getting into an MBA, is that 2 years time period if you're getting into US, or maybe 1 year time period if you're getting into any other university which is 1 year of MBA. That is a huge time period as compared to the one which you're going to do in other qualification. For example, if you want to do a CFA happens in let's say 20, 60 days of all the 3 levels. So which is what, 2 months. And MBA is going to take 2 years, which is a huge amount of time. So if you want to start up something of your own, and if you think that you should spend more time on your startup or entrepreneurship venture, then MBA is not a right option, because you should focus more on your startup. And if that fails, then you can definitely go for an MBA and start up something of your own once again. You should have a very strong story. That's the only advice which I'd like to give you. You should have strong letter of recommendations from persons you have worked in the past. You should have strong SOPs and essays, strong extracurricular activities, and very strong profiles, so that the university representatives would not even get a chance to reject your application. And the clarity of thought in that application should be very clear, that why you want to do an MBA. So answering this question as well, it's very important. If you get into IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, and the interviewers, they are definitely going to ask you this one question, that why you want to do an MBA. And my friend who got into IIM Ahmedabad, he had just given his script, that what answers he had given while he was giving an interview for IIM Ahmedabad. So in fact, I'll paste that link in the description and you can download that script where he has completely written his entire interview experience, and these were some of the questions which were asked to him. So you can just have a look by clicking in the link in the description box, and you can download this script and you can just have an idea what type of questions you would be expected when you are going to go for an interview in let's say IIM Ahmedabad or Bangalore or any other top-notch university. So one question I still remember, he was asked one question as A minus X into B minus X into C minus X into ... into Z minus X. What is the amount of this? And he was just perplexed at that point of time. But if you notice, यहाँ पे बीच में एक amount है X minus X, वो भी आता है, and which is going to be 0. So 0 multiplied by any amount is going to be 0, and the answer to this question is very simple, which is 0. So these are some of the questions which might be asked to you in your interviews, and you should be very well prepared with the common sense and with the presence of mind. That is very, very important. So yeah, these were some of the factors about MBA. The only drawback of MBA is that you have to invest a lot of your time in an MBA college. The cost is going to be at a higher end if you have some financial crisis, or if you are a person who does not have the financial stability to get into this top-notch colleges. That is going to be a challenge, but you can definitely take any scholarships from these universities as well. And apart from these drawbacks, I don't see any other drawback of doing an MBA except the huge amount of time which is involved. So you have to decide now whether you should do an MBA or not. And I think I've given a lot of details in this video about the entire factors to be considered before doing an MBA. So I hope you like this video. If you do like this video, share it with all your friends who wants to get into an MBA or who doesn't want to get into an MBA, and share with me also in the comment section that what do you think, whether you should do an MBA or not. So thank you so much for watching this video. Share this video with all your friends and subscribe to my channel so that I can create more videos for all of you. Thank you so much again for watching the video. See you in the next video.